And welcome back to another great episode of 100% Fresh with Two Chef Mission. Of course, we are Two Chef Mission. Excited that you are here in this episode. And I believe this episode we're going to be talking a little bit more on seasonality, specifically going with the season of...
spring.
Woo-hoo.
Because we are finally in spring by like 7 days.
Awesome.
Spring runs, in case you didn't know, from March 20th to June 21st.
Cool. Actually a really good time of year, too.
Yep.
I know down here in Florida it gets warm.
Oh, it's kind of always warm.
Yeah.
Except for those like random days where it's like, I'm going to be freezing.
Oh my god.
But freezing is freezing.
Yeah. Here in Florida,
not.
freezing is like 60 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. 60, well...
60 degrees Fahrenheit.
It actually did get to like
it
could
did
freeze
get
this. Yeah,
freezing
this year we had to
year,
actually cover our plants and stuff.
Which is crazy.
It very much was, but we're in spring now, so
which means
that should not happen anymore.
Which means that our flowers are blooming.
If we had them.
If we actually had flowers, yeah. But anyways.
Actually, I think our gardenias did bloom in the front.
Oh, cool.
A little bit.
That's good to know.
A little bit. But anyways, we do a seasonal podcast. Seasonal podcast, kind of with every season. I think the one we haven't done is winter.
Yeah, I think that was the only one that we
fall
haven't done.
And summer, and now we're doing spring.
Because I remember it's fall, y'all.
It's fall. Well, also fall is our favorite time of year.
Yes,
but
for
for cooking, I feel like it's probably not our favorate season.
I like the warm spices
and stuff.
That's one of the big stuff.
That's
yeah.
basically it. That sounded bad. But I feel like seasonality wise, spring summer zone is like really good for cooking. But I think that's because you've got some like great produce and stuff coming in.
For sure, especially when you're looking at your fruit and what comes in your fruits, because I know in spring you at least get like some citrus and you get some other really good stuff.
Some other really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like fruits. So for what's in season, fruit wise, you've got like rhubarb, meyer lemon. So you got your citrus there. Strawberries, kiwi, honeydew, cherries, mango, pineapple.
All the good stuff.
Grapefruit, apricots. Yeah.
Oh, apricots, great.
I thought you were
fantastic.
I thought you were gonna be like apricots.
Oh no,
and I was like,
I love apricots.
You eat apricots.
Yeah, I love them, and then you mix them with some cream cheese, and then you make a dip out of it, and there you go. There's a little bit more steps to it, but yeah.
Okay. Cream cheese.
You can make it like a nice apricot dip.
Goat cheese would also be good. I feel like.
But no, that's just jumping it on a rabbit hole.
I know, because then I was like, you could grill and then... Anyways. Make a flatbread.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I know, see,
flatbread.
It'd be really nice.
And then I would probably want to put some fig on top.
See, you were thinking
but
fig,
that's because I love fig.
I was like, rosemary would actually be really good with
yeah.
it. Yeah. Anyways, in case you missed our podcast on how we create menus.
Here's a little
We just gave you a little tidbit. So vegetables that have come into season or in season are your asparagus, artichokes, Tony's favorite, beets.
Oh, no, my worst. I hate
Your worst.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't prefer beets. Now, if I had to cook with them, I'll cook with them. But I will avoid eating them because I will eat around them.
I just love the joke.
That was an Office reference.
But it was
it was Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. And again, if you've seen The Office, you'll know what we're talking. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Except for, they all had nicknames for each other.
Yeah, me and a small group of friends that I used to have.
And Tony's brothers, his twin brothers, happened to be
the Bear.
And I was like, we were just like offhand talking one day. Tony and his bears and beets, and I was like, does your brother eat beets?
And I genuinely didn't know, so I reached out to him. I texted him. I was like, hey Mo, do you eat beets by chance? And he's like, no, I don't really like them.
I don't like beets. And I was like, just proved you wrong.
And that's when...
And then it was mic drop.
And then that's when that Bears Beets Battlestar Galactica joke
Failed.
promptly stopped being used in the house.
Failed you. Yeah, but so you got your beets, spring onion, fiddlehead ferns, if you have them available to you. New potatoes, morel mushrooms.
Ooh, mushrooms are so good.
Mushrooms are delicious.
They're fantastic, and they give such good depth of flavor to things.
Mm-hmm. Fava beans, carrots, a lot of what?
I just thought of Silence of the Lambs. It'd go nice. It'd go nicely with what was it? I think his liver would go nicely with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh. I clearly haven't watched that. And you've got a lot of greens are in season. Let's bypass that. With this like spring frisée, dandelion greens, arugula, watercress, kale.
Arugula is really good. Kale is good.
Watercress is also good because you got the peppery sort of, but you get a peppery from the arugula too.
I was gonna say you get peppery from arugula too.
Yeah, they're both good. Good greens.
All great greens.
Yeah.
Greens of all shades and colors are fantastic. Add them into your meals. They will help immensely.
And they add flavor.
They really do.
There's some people that, you know.
Like we have some close friends that
say that they're bitter.
The biggest fans.
They say that they're certain ones. Well, like kale. See, for me, I like kale too. But some people have issues with colorful lettuces. And they say they're bitter. Yeah, I disagree.
I don't necessarily get that.
I don't know. It's like the
but to each,
radicchio. Radicchio does have like some bitter, but
really
like
depends on the palate.
The red, but red leaf like lettuce and stuff. It's no.
I mean, I don't think it's bitter.
I don't think so.
My palate wouldn't say it's bitter. But I know everybody's palate is different and unique.
But as you try
like
different things, like unique like snowflake, got you. Because everyone is different. He's alike.
No snowflake is alike. I was about to say no
snowflake is different. They're all the same. There actually is the opposite. But
they just took a cookie cutter and just went through.
Wow. But no, the interesting thing with dislikes is that like as your palate, as you grow and age, your palate also shifts and changes. Certain things remain, like dislike of beets, dislike of cilantro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cucumber.
Yeah, that's another big one that makes me like,
sad face.
Sad face.
I mean, if it's in stuff, I'll deal with it. But anyways, that was made
for me with beets. No.
Basically, the greens, except for green garlic is also in season. We're gonna circle back. Peas are in season.
Peas are really good. They're also like a very good variety vegetable. I was about to call them fruit.
Good variety. You've got like English peas or snap peas.
Yeah.
And then radishes and ramps are also good. And then it is also a really good time for herbs.
Yes.
So chives, parsley, and dill are really good. They're also like really bright.
I was like, in fact, our parsley has been growing like crazy. It's sad to say, good at killing plants. I think the best one we're good at killing is basil. Our basil
is it
always
basil
dies.
Or is it dill?
Oh, dill we can't even
exactly. Dill just immediately dies.
Yeah.
Basil we have basil growing.
No, I know,
it's alive.
but usually our basil dies.
If we don't plant it like immediately,
then it's
dead.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate because, like we were saying, spring is a great time for herbs.
Yeah, well, but we do have herbs growing. We've got some thyme going. We've got oregano. The oregano has been like killing it for a while.
Oh yeah.
The parsley it's doing really good too.
No, it's really really nice.
So is our
now.
rosemary.
Yes, our rosemary's doing really nice too.
Yeah. So.
We have a sage plant that's kind of it's working its way back up.
Hit or miss.
It's working its way back up.
Our lemon thyme.
Our lemon thyme is doing really good too, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it though.
But I'm also pregnant.
Yeah.
So there's
So that'll also affect your palate too. So, just so you know.
In case we didn't already know that.
That's where you get the really weird like craving ideas, combinations of things.
I have not had weird craving. They're not like
I'm trying to remember because if I'm thinking correctly, you had one that you just kind of looked at me and you're like, "Don't give me that look," because it was kind of out there. It had to do with like pickles and ice cream or something.
I've never said I wanted pickles and ice cream. That is a complete lie. Never. It's never been a thing.
That's exactly what it was.
Even if I wasn't pregnant, if they made a pickle ice cream, I would try it.
I think there is a pickle ice cream.
I have not seen it. Weirdly, they have garlic ice cream, which I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that.
I'd be down to try it.
I would try things like that, but I'm not going to say that I'm going to like them.
Then you do candied tomatoes. Because then you can make
like a candied tomatoes, you could do like a tomato jam ice cream.
No, and then you make a bruschetta. Because then you use the balsamic glaze. Because, well, you've already got, if you already got the garlic ice cream.
Okay, wait, so like you've got
garlic ice cream, balsamic, and then candied tomatoes. Or like you said, a tomato jam. To mix in.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I would be down for it.
Sounds interesting.
Let me know in the comments if you'd be down for it. And if you're not on YouTube watching this, let us know anyways.
You're in podcast, maybe? Yeah. Listening?
Yes.
We also have proteins that are also in season, like lamb which is where, for Easter celebration or things like that, you have a lot of people who are into lamb during that time.
I'm actually excited to get our lamb.
Mm-hmm. And then salmon, so like Pacific salmon is in season. Trout, softshell crab. So you got some seafood and stuff in there.
Crab is amazing any time of year, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I know that there are seasonalities of like when you can get like specific crabs, like Dungeness King and snow crab and the like, or stone. Yeah. But I just love crab.
Those are soft shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But those are the things that are in season. As we had a little bit of rambling in there. That just wouldn't be our podcast if there wasn't some rambling.
Exactly. And it wouldn't be true to us. It wouldn't be 100% fresh with us. If it wasn't a little bit of rambling and a little sidetrack notes.
Sidetrack notes, yeah. But let's get into some seasonal cooking.
Yeah, let's get into it. Now, everybody, I know for summer, the big one is like grilling.
Yeah.
And smoking. And then
grilled and smoked meats.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're not in summer.
No, we're in spring.
I would think, when I think of spring, I definitely think of like fresh and light and bright flavors and things like that. A lot of, like lemon and citrus and herby and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. And I think that's some of the best way to highlight some of the ingredients that you're going to be using in your cooking, especially in this time of season.
You want the freshness to come out.
And you want it to be able to really show in your meals. Now, if you're doing something like I was saying, grilling or smoking, it's going to end up overpowering depending on how you're grilling. Because with a gas grill, you're not getting as much smoke or any harsh flavors. But if you're using like charcoal or if you use wood like me, you end up getting a lot more of that smoke and flavor that's coming out of those types of fuel.
Yeah. But it also adds, it's always that those layers of
that depth of flavor. Yeah.
So for instance, we recently did a salmon dish that so if you've followed us anywhere, you've probably seen us on social media or YouTube or any of our socials, and you probably saw our seared salmon dish that comes with a citrus couscous, grilled asparagus, and pea puree.
Yep.
So we basically threw in elements of spring where you have the citrus flavor, so you have your brightness and acidity and stuff like that, and then you have the richness and it's got that buttery flavor with the peas, and it's got garlic in there, so it's also got that little kick of flavor. And then we the asparagus is like it's in season, but we were like, how can we kind of elevate it? And we raised that with flavor of grilling.
Yeah.
And then we went very simple with the salmon of just salt and pepper
yep.
because all of the other bright flavors were going to
really shine. Yeah. And I was going to say, if you wanted to do anything additional to it, which I felt the dish was really complete and seasoned perfectly the way it was, but you could always splash a little bit of fresh lemon juice on top.
Yeah, just to add a little bit of freshness. Just to give more of that bite. Yeah. That's about it, is like all that you would really do. Yeah. But we basically took seasonal ingredients and we were like, how can we
elevate it?
Mm-hmm. We'll balance different things to make certain flavors pop.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, that comes from so many years of, both of us having worked in kitchens and having worked not only in high volume, but in small local kitchens, and just really getting the passion at home where we would experiment and try different things and try different recipes.
Yeah. But we also, one of the reasons why we bring in seasonal cooking into our podcast to kind of share with everyone else is that the ingredients that we're utilizing or that we're sharing here are the ones that are going to be like your freshest and most flavorful right now. Which means that you're going to get the best quality.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to get some of your best cooking because you're using the ingredients that are in season. Also, you'll get more budget friendly.
Yeah, I was just about to say you might even be able to see them reduce in price when the fruits or vegetables or even proteins start really getting into season. You'll start seeing that reduction in price. And it's not going to be a huge reduction. No. It's not going to be like you're going to save $2 or 75 cents on each item, but you could end up saving anywhere from 10 to let's say 50 cents at the highest.
Like,
I would think.
For instance, like pineapple, if it's in season, it's usually under $2 for a pineapple. If it's not in season, it's sometimes over that. So it's just like, it's small, but
over the course of the season, you'll end up seeing a pretty decent amount of savings.
Right.
As well as it just ends up helping keep, farms going because they're rotating their crops and they're making sure that they're keeping with the season.
Yeah, which I would say leads us into our tips with cooking in with season in mind. And that would be, like we just said, it's usually a little bit cheaper. Yep. Budget-wise, because that's the freshest stuff and they're going to want to get you to buy it.
Yeah, they're going to want to really push that.
Like, this is in season right now. It's ready for you to eat, so buy it and use it so that we don't have to throw it away.
Exactly.
Because there's only a limited time from when it's
harvestable
good to dying. Yeah. Which is why everyone has that joke of the, like, I have a bag of lettuce in my refrigerator that's always dead.
Yeah.
Like, I buy the bag of lettuce to let it die every week.
Yeah.
But the funny thing in that is a lot of times that's like your spring mix and like greens like that.
Your fastest dying lettuce.
Sadly, I love spring mix, but I also avoid it a lot because it dies so quickly. Yep. Butter lettuce usually holds up better.
Pretty good.
As well as
romaine is good.
It's more prep. But, like, getting whole lettuce
and
that
then
you just
have
to cut. And a lot of the times the reasoning for the dying lettuce is because of the moisture.
Yeah.
And you have it all in a bag where the moisture
stays in.
There's no way
for it to escape. And so it just basically adds on to it.
Yeah.
Now, I would say another really good tip when you're looking at seasonality, shop at a farmer's market. Look for local farms that are actually rotating through the seasons and keeping their crop within season. Now, here in Orlando, we have a couple farms that are a few hours away from us because Orlando became this huge metropolitan area, so there's really not a lot of local farms here.
They have to come in.
They have to come in, like I said, they're maybe 2.5 hours away. But they rotate with the season. They try to keep up with what's coming in the season.
Well, depending on what they're doing. So, like, there's a local organic farm that we have found, and they have to go with the season. I guess they don't have to, but, like, for the purpose of farming the way that it should be, you kind of have to, because otherwise you're going to get half-assed produce, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, where it's just not as flavorful. And you can generally tell the difference. So, like, we buy cantaloupe a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's, like, one of our constant melons.
And it's one of our kids' favorites and his favorites.
I love it.
And so it's immediately noticeable when it's
actually
that good season or when it's totally not, and it's got no flavor.
Oh yeah.
Versus being
once it's
delicious.
In season, oh my god, the flavor of it just pops.
Yeah.
So much.
But that's where, so your season in mind would be also flavor.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be
a big driving force.
Yeah. And also bringing up the farmers market thing. If you're really wanting to shop local within farmers markets, actually find the places that are doing the growing.
Yeah.
It's because every farmers market is also going to have basically just a normal grocer that it's your normal branded foods. It's not actually a farm.
Yeah. Where they just basically take the surplus that they might have and offload it to a farmer's market to be able to get that.
It's not to say that you shouldn't buy from those people, but it's just if you're looking for actual local farming versus that, notice things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your big takeaways for season in mind: flavor, quality, budget.
And that's where I think is some of the biggest benefit of shopping in season. And or just really trying to stay close to season as much as possible.
Yeah. But we found that it's worth it. But that's where it also kind of plays around with, like, how your menu theming is gonna take account for that. And yeah.
It's always good stuff.
But we hope you enjoyed this episode about spring. And we hope you're all excited about this spring season.
Yes.
As much as we are with getting to try out new recipes and things like that. And we will catch you in the next episode.
We hope to see you. Follow us on all our socials and see you around.